Hello everyone, it is Wednesday evening, May 17th, and it is time for another Facebook Live. While you are finding me, I'm going to share this to my group. You're on my Creating with Cindy page right now, and just in case somebody's looking for it on the group, I'm going to hop on my laptop and do that real quick. That will give you a minute to find me. I hope you all are having a good week. If you celebrated Mother's Day last weekend, I hope you had a great day. I did. My son and his wife invited me over, and he grilled out, and she made a cake, and I got to play with my grandbabies, and so it was just fabulous. It was a good day. All right. Always takes my laptop a minute. Here we go. Get this shared. I can't believe we're already halfway through May. Oh my goodness. The time is going by so quickly. Almost there. And we will get started. This is really a fun set that we're going to play with tonight. And it's not just for paper crafting, as you'll see. Okay, let's get started. I'll set this aside for the moment. This is the stamp set. Excuse me. This is the stamp set, Crafting with You. And then the dies, there are some really fun dies in here. And I'll show you. I made a little display sheet for it. But look at all these fun dies that you get. So some are standalone dies, and then some cut out the images in the stamp set. So let me show you. I think this will make more sense, and you'll be able to see what they are better if I show you my little display board I made. So I demonstrated this at my Uplines team meeting last Saturday, and so I wanted to have something to show at the demonstration. So I made this. You can't quite get it all in at once, but this is the main part. So I color coded them by the craft. Now I realize scissors can go with any, these baskets can go with any, but just to kind of make it more interesting. So to me, these were the art ones. These were the paper crafting. You have this adorable cut and emboss machine. This is a paper trimmer, which I'll show you on a card later. And it has the little slidey thing that cuts the blade. That is a separate piece. It cuts out at the same time, but it's a separate piece that you glue on. Then you've got a hoop and the inside of it, some yarn, some buttons, a sewing machine. These are actually two, let me push that up a little bit so you can see, two dies. That's why I did them in different colors. So that green is the actual thread on the spool, and then the white is the spool. And it's, you could have just a bunch of spools if you didn't want any thread on them. Scissors, all you do is put a little gem or something there for the little nut that holds it together. Sewing machine, ruler. And then this basket kind of goes with the yarn, is why I put it there. But like I said, those baskets could be used for anything. And then I did the sentiments at the bottom. Welcome, Carol. So that is the Crafting with You bundle. It's really a fun bundle. And let's get started working on our card. So let me grab all my pieces. We're going to do a little bit of die cutting. I was going to do some beforehand, but it just didn't work out that way. So we'll just do it all together, and it won't take long. All right, these are photopolymers, so I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat. And I've already stamped one of these paintbrushes, sets of paintbrushes, but I'll do the other one. I was going to die cut that, and it just didn't happen. I got distracted, and so I'm using Memento Black. So there's our paintbrushes. Our basket, I'm stamping it in a Memento also, but I'm stamping it on the Smoky Slate, which is what our card base is. So it just ties in that color a little bit more. Isn't that cute? And then the last thing we're going to stamp, and I didn't put a sentiment on this one. So you can put, there's some great sentiments in here. Sending you a handmade hug. Life is better when you're crafting. You inspire me. So you could do any of those on the inside or just another little, and actually I'm going to turn this over. So when it's a big stamp like this, I like to ink it upside down. And I just re-inked my memento pad, so hopefully this will come out nice and dark. All right. We'll put this, just give it a minute to soak in. I'm just going to close this up before I stick my hand in it. There we go. All right, now let's get all of these die cut. Put my other pieces out of the way. Move that off just so it's a little easier. So I'm using my mini cut and emboss machine. Let me uncover the dies again. And let's get all of these cut out. Oops, we need plates. Let's get that up a little bit so you can see. All right, get this all lined up. And then carefully put your top plate on. All right, crank that through. And now we have this beautiful canvas on an easel. All right, that was our biggest one. Let's see. And I don't know if I've showed you this before, but on my die sets, I go just with a ink pen around them all, because if you start taking multiples off, trying to figure out where they go afterwards is challenging for me. Might not be for you, but for me it's very challenging. All right, so now we have our basket. Get that on there. And then trim this paper a little bit just so I can get it on there at the same time. So we'll only have to run it twice more and not 3 times more. We'll fix that in a minute. Well, all right, so line up your little paintbrushes. Hey, buddy. Welcome. And let's line our basket back up. And if you're worried about them slipping, you can always, let's see if we can push that down. Sweet, I think it stayed. You can always put some Post-it tape or Post-it notes. I'm trying to just hold on to this one until it gets in. There we go. And that will help hold them in place. All right. So there's our little basket. And I'm putting the dies back as I get these cut out so I don't lose them. We need to do one more. So there's our cute little paintbrushes. One more set of paintbrushes. And then we'll be ready to start doing some coloring. Okay. That's all right, Betty. You didn't miss much. We've just been stamping and die cutting. So, and there's our other little pencils or paintbrushes. Okay, now we can get this out of the way. Set my dies out of the way. One of these days I'm going to show you what my table looks like while I'm doing all this. There's just stuff everywhere. All right, we don't need to do anything more to our basket. We are going to color our paintbrushes, and we need to stamp our flowers. So what I did with the flowers, actually, hang on, let's do our background of this first. Bring this piece of scratch paper over. So I wanted just a little color on my canvas. So I'm taking one of our these are the new smaller blending brushes, and this is Balmy Blue, and I'm just going to rub it off there a little bit, and I just put a little bit of color on here. I didn't want a lot because I wanted the flowers to still show up. There, hopefully you can see that a little bit. There's not much there, but you can tell next to the white, there's a little bit of color there. Okay, put that away. And then for the flowers, you can use your Stampin' markers. Now, these are not the blends. You cannot use blends in this way, but you can use your markers. And so because this has flowers and leaves, I wanted them to be different colors. Now, you could stamp them all in the same color. That would be fine. But I wanted them to be different. So I'm just going to color the leaves. Oops. Try not to drop it. This is Parakeet Party, and then this is Sweet Sorbet. These are two in colors that were new last year. So this is their last year to be a part of our color families. And I really love all of these ones. Oh, I missed some leaves over there. Go back and get them. But these are some nice bright colors from last year's in colors. And then the in colors this year are more neutrals or earthy colors. I missed those leaves. All right, then when you're done, you huff on it. And that just re-moistens anything that might have dried out a little bit. And that way you can have red flowers and green leaves. So then the other thing I did to bring in these colors, and I'm going to bring mine over here just so I don't have to think about how I colored them. These are, again, the markers. I forgot that one seems to not want to color as well. So let me use the brush hand. So I did blue. Both of those, I guess I did blue. I may have colored them just the same way. No, not quite. Some green. And I don't know, because some of them are covered up, but just and some of the Sweet Sorbet. So it just kind of brings in those colors from your flowers and the background of your canvas. All right, now we're ready to put this all together. So I have a Smoky Slate card base. And I forgot to tell you, if you're new here, I put all of the measurements for my cards on my blog after I'm done here. So that will be at creatingwithcindy.com. Oh, and this piece of Smoky Slate, I embossed with the Painted Texture embossing folder because we were doing art and it just seemed appropriate. And when I'm doing an embossed paper, I like to use my liquid glue. It just gets in those crevices a little bit easier and helps it adhere. And this designer series paper I'm using, I bet you won't guess where it's from. Well, if you've seen the catalog, you might. It's from the Zany Zoo paper. But the back of all of those, so these are, I'll just show you real quick. I put it here so I could. These all have critters, but the back side of them are just black and white patterns. So if you don't want to use all the critters, then you can use that fun back side, which is what I did here. Again, because I'm adhering it to a embossed piece, I'll use my liquid glue. And I put this more towards the bottom, so not exactly in the middle. And then I wanted my easel to stand out a little bit. Hey, Debbie. So I'm putting a vellum. I die cut this with our Stylish Shapes. I love that die set. So before I put this on the card, I'm going to adhere the the easel to it, and that way, and I think I did it more, yeah, I like that. I wanted more of the separation to be over the designer series paper. So now when I put this on here, I know exactly where I can put adhesive, because adhesive will show through vellum. I'm just going to put a little bit down here too. So that's why you want to put your image on the vellum first and then adhere it to your card, because then you won't have adhesive showing through. All right, and then our last little element here, we have our brushes, our paint brushes that we colored. And so what I did is I just put some glue on the front, and I wanted one to be a little bit farther in. Let me scoot it over this way. And then this guy, I didn't want him to be at exactly the same height. So we'll put him up a little bit. And then don't worry, I know there's some peeking out there, but that's okay. All you have to do then, give that just a second to adhere, is take your snips and just snip off those little pieces. And then no one will know. Dimensionals. We'll raise it up a little bit. And we'll just set that down in this corner so you have all your brushes ready to go. And then of course we need bling, which I have to find where I set it. Here it is. And I just went with our basic rhinestones. These are great to add to any card. If I wanted to, I could have colored them, one of the colors that we used. That you want to do with the blends. The blends will color these just fine, but this time I didn't. I just left them just clear. And I'm using my Take Your Pick tool. This thing is fabulous for putting on embellishments like this. Picks them up so easily. All right. That is it. We have made our card. Isn't that fun? So, last week we made, now I have to unbury it and all this stuff over here. Here it is. We made this cute little monkey card. So every week, thanks, Betty. Every week, I draw for last week's card, and somebody will win that card. So next week I will draw and somebody will win this card. So last week was, and you have to comment on the Facebook video here. So on this video that you're watching, you have to comment on it. So last week we had the little monkey. Oh, that was so cute. And the winner of this one was Betty. So Betty, I will get that to you. And let me show you, I have lots of swaps to show you. So I posted this one yesterday, I believe it was. And I actually did one in every new in color for the swap that I had this past Saturday. So there's 2 of the colors. And then this one, I had to do one with the sewing stuff. So this is where I stamped those flowers just in one color, just in the back. And there's the spools. And then that cute hoop. So I had to do, so I've done paper crafting and the sewing or needlework and then art. And then I got a couple of swaps. These were both made by my friend Patience. So she made these using this set too. And this is great. This would be easy one to do. There's no die cutting. You just stamp the sewing machine, some designer series paper. And then this has that really cute stamp and cut in a emboss machine. So those are all the ones with this set. Let me show you the other swaps I got. So I have a bunch of daisy ones. Everybody seems to enjoy the daisies. I'm just kind of pulling them all together so I can kind of show you. Okay. This one, my downline, Carol made this. Isn't that gorgeous? And look, isn't that neat? So these are the daisies, cheerful daisies, but this paper and these dies are Countryside Inn, I believe. But look at that paper. It's just beautiful, beautiful colors. And then here, let's see who this one is by. This one is by Jackie. I think I told you that one was Carol. This is by Jackie. And this fun die comes with those daisies. And look, I didn't even notice, but she put glittery stuff on there. Isn't that pretty? Oh yeah, you can see. And then this one was by Dina. So she just cut out, stamped the daisy and cut it out, and some of the leaves, and the stem is also die cut. And she put Winka Stella. That won't show up very well, but I wish Winka Stella showed up on camera better because it's so pretty. Those were all the daisy ones. This one was from Paula. This is the Zoo, Zany Zoo. Isn't that cute? Oh, there's a little gem on her. Flower on her waist. Hey, Nancy. You'll have to go back and watch what we did tonight. I'm just showing swaps now. This is from Sean. Look at all that. This is, you can kind of see that it's shiny. It's packing tape. So she put packing tape on it and then die cut it and embossed it after the fact, which there you can kind of see. So she did a lot of work, and the letters too. She did a lot of work. There was a lot of die cutting on this one. And embossing, and that was a lot of work. This one is from Kay. So this uses some of the new paper and the new, one of our new punches. I don't know if this is the big one. I don't remember. But isn't that cute, that pretzel paper? This is from Sherry. This is a stamp set that carried over. It's called Brood for You. I think it carried over from the last catalog. This is from Gail. And I can't remember what these were called, like Aspen. I don't remember. And then, oops. And then I had a couple of using the new Beautiful Balloons. This one is from Shauna. And she actually used a window sheet. Isn't that fun? And look at all these balloon dies. So cool. Oh, look at what she did down here. She must have done that with markers in different colors. That's really cool. And this one, I don't know. It doesn't have a name on it. It's a shaker card. And it's using that same balloon set and some of the specialty paper that goes with it. So you can see all the little pieces in there. It's probably these that she just put in there in the different colors. Really fun. And then I had a class a couple of nights ago using this same balloon set. So I thought I would show you what we did in class. This was one of them. And this is one of the dies in that set that makes little fringe. So you just cut a strip and it makes this little fringe. And the balloons are die cut. And then I use that same specialty paper. That star is in the set. And this is some of the paper that goes with it. Goes with that suite. And then this is the last one. So like this one, I did make a birthday one, but this one you could use for graduation. You could use this for graduation, wedding. So it doesn't have to be just birthday. It can be any celebration. Okay, I think that's everything I was going to show you. All right, let me pull out the card that we did out of all my mess. There we go. All right, so just a reminder that if you comment on this video here on Facebook, then I will draw next week and somebody will win this card. And I will see you next Wednesday. I got a new stamp set. Oh, I already put it away. I'll have to show you. Butterflies. I love butterflies, and I got the new butterfly stamp set, so I might have to play with that for next week. So we'll see. Well, but I'll be back here next Wednesday, and I'll have something new to share with you. All right, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye.